Hello and welcome to the first edition of Wikipedia Wednesday. This is a show where I find a random article by clicking the random button on Wikipedia and then taking 10 minutes to research it and then telling you a little bit about it so that we all learn something new. So let's see what we got today. We're going to hit the random article button. And today's article, I don't even know how to pronounce it. So that's going to be part of my lesson. And here we go. We'll put 10 minutes on the clock and go from there. Hello, everybody. Just a quick disclaimer as I'm laying on the floor, as you're watching me frantically research this information that I probably know nothing about, is that very fact that I probably don't know what I'm talking about most weeks, because this is all an experiment of trying to learn something new in a very small amount of time. So if I get something wrong, please fact check me. If I say something completely irreverent or irrelevant, please let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoy as we all try to learn new things together. All right, back to the show. Okay, here we go. Today we're talking about Necdet Özel, and I think I'm saying that right. So here's what I learned in my 10 minutes of researching Necdet Özel. Born in 1950, a Turkish army general who served as the 28th Chief of the General Staff of the Turkish Armed Forces. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but I will tell you some of the main points that I think are pretty interesting because, again, everything can be interesting if we take the time to learn. So, here's what stuck out to me about Necdet Özel. He's the second person to have the position of the commander of the Turkish land forces to not have NATO experience. So he's not been a part of NATO, has no former association with NATO, but yet he's in this position where he's talking to all these other people who are in NATO. And so that really stuck out to me, something that I would think about and be like, so what does he do at the meetings? Does he just sit around and ask people if they want to play bingo? Does he scroll on his phone? I mean, what does he do? But then I read down here at his early life and his education, and I found that he attended the School of Economics and studied international diplomacy, and he had graduated from the Turkish Military Academy. So he's got military experience, he knows money, and he knows how to talk to people in international affairs and diplomacy, which is basically what NATO is all about. So the man doesn't just play on his phone. He doesn't ask people to play bingo. I'm pretty sure he's probably like most people who didn't grow up in the world of something and then get put into it. And he probably has a lot of great experience and knowledge because he's not formed by a system. So he probably comes in and he's like, I don't understand all of you guys' rules that you're playing by, but here's the way I see it, because here's the way that I studied and here's what I learned. Who knows? I don't. We're all just speculating here. All right. Now, down to his military career. Basically, what I learned is that he had a lot of different positions, and he did a lot of different things, where he was in charge of a lot of different things. And, he was in charge of the Army War College, the 39th Mechanized Infantry Division, which I clicked on that. And, there's really not that much there. So basically, looks like he was in charge of a lot of stuff when not a lot of things were happening. And again, I'm not super smart on this stuff. I'm just learning as I go. So if I'm getting something wrong, somebody can please let me know. But the other thing that I found interesting was that he was appointed by the president. So his position up here as the chief of the general staff was chosen by the president of Turkey at the time, knowing that he didn't have experience in NATO, but trusting him enough. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this guy right here, Necdet Özel, remember the name. That's what we learned today. Thanks for joining us for Wikipedia Wednesday. See you next Wednesday.